Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Paul Pogba is open to staying at the club beyond the end of his contract. Paul Pogba's contract at Manchester United expires in the summer. Now, revert back to earlier on this season, it said that Paul Pogba is willing to stay at Man United as long as Ralf Rangnick is the manager for next season. And it mentioned that Pogba has been impressed by Ralf Rangnick since his arrival. To Pogba's credit, he's done really well since he returned from injury. He did well against Southampton recently, unfortunately had a goal disallowed. He played very well against Burnley at Turf Moor last Tuesday. He scored in that game. That was his first goal of the season, and it was his first Premier League appearance since October. And he also did well on his return against Middlesbrough in the Cup. If you do remember rightly, Pogba was the one that won the penalty in that game in normal time. This season has been Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he re-signed. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. He's played over 200 games since he re-signed. And Manchester United paid £89 million for him, so reflecting on that, is our most expensive signing at the moment. We had him when he was a lot younger, under the Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. Now I want to give you some news on Edinson Cavani. Edinson Cavani is expected to leave as a free agent in the summer. Cavani prefers a move to La Liga. Now, earlier on this season, Rangnick revealed that Edinson Cavani wants to stay at Man United until the end of the season. Cavani's out of contract at Manchester United in the summer. Manchester United got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. Now, not so long ago, it said that River Plate are considering a summer transfer for Cavani to replace Julian Alvarez. Barcelona wanted him last year. Well, it said last year that Cavani agreed to join Barcelona on an 18-month contract. Barcelona was seeing him as a replacement for Aguero because Aguero retired due to heart problems, and Juventus and Boca Juniors went in for him last year. Cavani rejected a move to Boca Juniors. Cavani's out with injury at the moment, so he didn't play any part in the 1-1 draw against Southampton recently. He did play in the game against Burnley last Tuesday. He was anonymous in that game. I do recall him having 1 chance. In the summer, a lot of players are going to depart the club. Juan Mata, he will leave Manchester United in the summer. Mata's out of contract in the summer. I don't have a great deal of a perception on him anymore because he doesn't get in our team. Mata lost his place in the team a while ago, plus he's lost that yard of pace in his aging up. But despite all of that, Juan Mata has had a good career at Manchester United. He's played 277 games in all competitions. He's scored 51 goals. Juan Mata has been at Manchester United for 8 years. So he's been a long-serving player. We got him from Chelsea back in 2014. Manchester United paid £37.1 million. Revert back to 2020. Mata rejected an £18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. Jesse Lingard, he'll also leave Man United in the summer. He should have left last month, but Manchester United blocked his exit. Last month it was Newcastle and West Ham that were battling to get Lingard on loan. Lingard's out of contract at Man United in the summer. He has been part of the club for a long time. He is up our academy, but he doesn't get in our team. Ronaldo, it's looking likely he will be leaving Man United in the summer. Don't forget, next month, Ronaldo is planning for showdown talks with his agent about his Manchester United future. And prior to the game against Southampton, it said Cristiano Ronaldo could quit Man United in the summer. Halfway into his 2-year deal, and Ronaldo told his friends he's starting to feel his age. It said not so long ago that Man United consider swapping Cristiano Ronaldo for PSG boss Mauricio Pochettino. Over 3 weeks ago now, don't forget, Ronaldo gave an interview, and in the interview he was critical of the youngsters, so reflecting on that he was demanding more from the youngsters. And he was also backing Rangnick to do a good job at Man United, and Ronaldo also said, I'm not at Man United to compete for 6th or 7th, finishing below 3rd is unacceptable. Ronaldo did recently play against Southampton. He looked better. Don't forget, he did have a good early chance when he went round the Southampton goalkeeper. It was a good clearance though from Romain Perraud. He also had a goal disallowed for offside, Ronaldo. But Ronaldo's not in form at the moment. He has not scored in his last 6 games. Ronaldo did not start against Burnley last Tuesday, and reflecting on that, Ronaldo was unhappy. Ronaldo is the best player in the world overall. He's won over 30 trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. Since Ronaldo re-signed for Man United, he's scored 14 goals in all competitions. He's got over 800 goals in his career. And Man United re-signed him last summer for 20 million with add-ons included. He wears a number 7 shirt and his contract at Manchester United expires next year. There's an option to extend his contract for the 3rd year. Ronaldo receives nearly £500,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at the club at the moment. Matic, he'll also leave Manchester United in the summer. Matic recently picked up a shin injury. I've always had my reservations about Matic because he's always been a static midfielder, plus he's lost that yard of pace and he's aging up. But despite that, he's had his good games at Man United. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he still seems to get his chances, and he's the only predominant centre defensive midfielder Man United have got at the moment. Matic has been at Man United for over 4 years. We got him from Chelsea back in 2017, got him for 40 million. Phil Jones and Eric Bailly, they'll also leave in the summer. You know, Tellez and Delors could leave in the summer. Man United will look to sell Harry Maguire and Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the summer because that duo are not good enough to represent the club. And Henderson, I reckon he will leave in the summer. Henderson should have left last month, but Man United blocked his exit. Henderson doesn't get in goal much now because revert back to last summer, De Gea reclaimed that number 1 spot back. Henderson has only made 3 appearances this season. By the way, Henderson was recently arrested for abusing his girlfriend. Earlier on this season he had COVID for a while. Towards the end of last season, though, he got that number 1 jersey, and Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. He has got that experience behind him because he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield, and before he had loan spells with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. And he's under contract to Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. So, there you go. In the summer as well, I'm expecting Manchester United to make some signings. Man United want a midfielder because when Rangnick first came in, he identified Manchester United's midfield as a weakness. Rangnick has endured 1 transfer window as Manchester United's interim manager, and it was a very disappointing January transfer window because Man United didn't make any signings last month. Lingard and Henderson should have left, but they didn't. You know, we had the incident with Mason Greenwood towards the end of last month. But we loaned quite a few players out last month. You know, obviously we loaned Donny van der Beek out to Everton. We loaned Anthony Martial out to Sevilla. We loaned Amad Diallo out to Rangers. Ethan Laird went out on loan. Tuan Zebe went out on loan to Napoli. Teden Menga went out on loan to Birmingham. So we let around 8 players leave last month. Ralph Rangnick has been Manchester United's interim manager for over 2 months now. He has managed 13 games so far in all competitions, and he's lost 2 games so far. Rangnick is Man United's interim manager till the end of the season. Then it did initially say that he's expected to take up a consultancy role for a further 2 years, but recently Rangnick was warned that he could lose the consultancy role. I can assure that Manchester United will not offer Rangnick the job on a permanent basis. There's been good performances under Rangnick, there's also been poor performances as well, but like I've mentioned on my recent videos, Rangnick's been totally blameless for them poor performances. You know, the players have had to take responsibility for those poor performances, and nothing has changed under Rangnick to what we saw under Solskjaer. You know, like I've said, I like Rangnick a lot. Got a lot of respect for him. He's a very good coach. He's a German coach, and the vast majority of German coaches are very, very good. Before Manchester United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow, and I've also got to give him credit because he has made changes since he's come in. Revert back to earlier on this season, he recommended Ewan Sharping as an assistant coach and analyst. He also recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he recommended Saz Chalenzin as a sports psychologist. As you all know, Rangnick wants Erik ten Hag to become Manchester United's next manager, and Richard Arnold, our chief executive, wants Erik ten Hag as the club's next manager. And there's a lot of Manchester United fans that would like to see Erik ten Hag get recommended in. I think if Erik ten Hag came to managing the Premier League, he'd replicate what he's done at Ajax, because you've got to admire the work he's done at Ajax. You know, like I've said so many times before, he's developed a young players well, he's won a couple of titles with them. Revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. So there you go. And he's been Ajax manager for over 4 years. Ajax appointed him in back in 2017. His contract at Ajax expires next year. Ajax is the fourth club he's managing in his managerial career. Before Ajax he managed Utrecht, before then he managed Bayern Munich's reserves, and before then he managed Go Ahead Eagles. Mauricio Pochettino could be Manchester United's next permanent manager. Not so long ago, Pochettino responded to Manchester United's interest, and Pochettino did insist that he's still 200% focused on PSG despite Man United's interest. Well, Man United players want Mauricio Pochettino as their next manager. Reports from France said earlier on this season that Pochettino could be sacked by March. Pochettino's job hinges on PSG getting to the next round of the Champions League. PSG play Real Madrid in the last 16 of the Champions League. And earlier on this season it said Pochettino reportedly told his friends he will be leaving PSG in the summer. PSG are trying to get Zidane to replace Pochettino. Pochettino has been PSG manager for over a year. His contract with them expires next year. And I think he's won a French Cup with them. Revert back to when Man United sacked Jose Mourinho. Man United should have got Pochettino then, but the club decided to go with Solskjaer instead. Pochettino is a good manager, even though he's hardly won anything. You know, he's proven in the Premier League, which is beneficial because before Pochettino endured a 5.5-year managerial tenure at Tottenham. Back in 2018, he got Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final, and he almost won the league when he was Tottenham manager at one point. Tottenham made a bad mistake sacking him at the time. Before Tottenham managed Southampton, he only enjoyed a short managerial tenure at Southampton, but he still managed to guide Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League. So they're the clubs he's managed in the Premier League so far, and a while ago Pochettino managed Espanyol. And prior to the Southampton game, it said Manchester United added Luis Enrique to their managerial shortlist. Luis Enrique is the head coach of the Spain national team. Manchester United are looking for the 5th permanent manager since Ferguson retired. Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson retired. We sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Then Man United sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite us winning the FA Cup under him. Then Man United sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season. And last year, Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after almost 3 years in charge. Manchester United have not been the same team since Ferguson retired. And no one's going to replicate what Alex Ferguson did at the club, and we've got to accept that. Ferguson, greatest manager of all time. Alex Ferguson brought success to Manchester United because he won 30-odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but he didn't settle in straight away, Ferguson, because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Ferguson was at Manchester United for 26 years, so reflecting on that, he was a long-serving manager. Ferguson retired 9 years ago. Obviously, when he retired, he did recommend David Moyes in, but the reasons he did that is because they were both Scottish and he had a lot of time for him, did Ferguson. Man United have only won 4 trophies in 10 years, and Man United have spent over 1.3 billion in 10 years. We have recouped around 397 million in sales. The only chance Manchester United have got of winning the trophy this season is the Champions League, but I'm very sceptical we're going to win that, so it's going to be another trophyless season for Man United. You know, Man United have not won a trophy for 5 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. We've not won the Premier League since 2013. The Glazers, you know, they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. You know, the Glazers are still at Manchester United. The Glazers have owned Man United for around 16 and a half years. They bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. Beginning of this month, was it, Woodward stepped down, which was good news from a Man United perspective because Woodward was one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. Ed Woodward was at Manchester United for 17 years. So Manchester United's next game is Brighton at Old Trafford. It's Tuesday night, the 15th of February. It's an 8:15 kick-off. Earlier on today, I give you the preview for the game, and I also give you my predictions. Manchester United are coming into this game on the back of a 1-1 draw against Southampton. Man United have drawn their last 3 games 1-1. Obviously, we drew with Southampton 1-1 recently, drew with Burnley last Tuesday 1-1, and it was 1-1 against Middlesbrough after extra time. We do have some players out, but not that many. Like I said, Cavani, he's got an injury at the moment. Fred's not available at the moment due to COVID, but I've got my reservations about him anyway. Fred's not good enough to represent the club. Bailly, he's injured, but he doesn't really get in the team. Tahith Chong, he's got an injury. Like I said, Matic, he recently picked up a shin injury. And that's about it. It's going to be a difficult game against Brighton because Brighton are enjoying a very good season to their standards. They are 9th in the Premier League at the moment. Brighton recently beat Watford 2-0. And, you know, Brighton have got some very good players in their team, like I mentioned on the preview. You know, Brighton have got Neil Maupay, Leonardo Trossard, very good player. Yves Bissouma, he's a very good midfielder. Don't forget, on deadline day last month, Manchester United were interested in Yves Bissouma. Tariq Lamptey, he's another good player Brighton have got. Tariq Lamptey is a right back, and last month Man United went in for him. He said Man United valued him at 30 million, but Brighton said they valued Tariq Lamptey at 40 million. Danny Welbeck, he's a former Manchester United and Arsenal player. You know, if Welbeck was to play in this game, you know, he'd be reuniting with Man United. Moises Caicedo, he's been out for Brighton due to personal reasons. Evan Ferguson, you know, he's a striker for Brighton. Jeremy Sarmiento, He's out with injury at the moment. They've got Pascal Gross, he's a midfielder. Adam Lallana, he's at Brighton, he's a former Liverpool and Southampton player. Solly March. They've got Stephen Alzette. They've got Alexis Mac Allister. Lewis Dunk, he's a very good centre-back. I've Adam Webster, Shane Duffy, Joel Veltman, he's a good defender for Brighton. The goalkeepers they've got Jason Steele, Robert Sanchez and Thomas McGill. Let me put into the equation that Brighton have lost quite a few players. Last month they lost Daniel Byrne, he went to Newcastle from Brighton. They lost Ben White to Arsenal. Brighton did receive £50 million for him though. They lost Dale Stevens, he went to Burnley from Brighton. I think they also lost that goalkeeper Matthew Ryan. Don't forget Glenn Murray left them, I can't remember when he left. And Aaron Connolly is out on loan at Middlesbrough from Brighton. Brighton's manager is Graham Potter. He's been Brighton manager for nearly 3 years now. He's got a contract with Brighton till 2025. Before Brighton, Graham Potter managed Swansea, and before then he managed Ostersund. This fixture at Old Trafford last season was 2-1 to Manchester United. So there you go. Manchester United's next game after Brighton is Leeds. The game against Brighton did get rearranged to Tuesday the 15th of February. Man United were supposed to be playing Brighton on the 18th of December last year, but the game got postponed due to COVID. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.